Guys, also, good evening and welcome to Gooner Matterz, for where your opinion matters, and that is for real, your opinion matters. Tonight's show is purely about the post match discussion of what happened last night between Arsenal and United. But firstly, I want to just do this, and we will introduce our panelists after this. Welcome back to Gooner Matterz. Let us get all the admin out of the way. Subscribe to Gooner Matterz, where you can obviously get all the notifications. Hit the bell, hit the like, and of course, Gooner Matterz will respond to all your comments. If you want to get involved with Gooner Matterz, you can get on goonermatters@gmail.com, and I will respond to anything that you want to say or ask. But yeah, it's a lot of things to discuss tonight. Let's get into it. Warren, welcome to the show for the first time. I hope you're going to have a good time. I just want to say to the people out there, if you do comment, please don't be vile, don't be rude, don't offend any of my panelists. You can obviously say it your state, and you can do it in a good manner. Yeah, I unfortunately don't allow vile comments and offensive comments or foul language. But yeah, anything can be said in comments and also in a good manner. So again, Warren, welcome to you, man. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for inviting me, brother.
So just to introduce Warren, he's the official supporters club of Arsenal, the chairman thereof. The club is in a pub in southern suburbs, Warren, Deep River, eh?
It's in Plumstead, Main Road. Yeah.
Plumstead Main Road. What is the place's name,
It's
Warren?
called it's 155 Main Road, and it's called Bounce. It's upstairs. So we've been at the
Bounce.
same venue for like 10, 11 years, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
You
cool.
normally
So
you'll normally see the flags on match day hanging out there on the balcony, so you can't miss it.
okay. All right, so if you do want to watch your game against Arsenal, you're welcome to pull in by Bounce. I'm sure the Arsenal fans will sort of welcome you with a good hard win or lose. And of course, Quinton, he's not a first timer. He's been on the show plenty. The former and also still involved in South African football, head coach of South African football. Quinton, good evening and welcome back to Gooner Matterz.
Hi, Glenn. Thanks. First of all, I want to apologize for causing any inconvenience on your show tonight. I was called to a meeting to Durban for tomorrow, and I had to fly out today. So the plan was still all in order because I landed here about 10 to 7, but then some logistical problems that we have with our transport getting us to the hotel. So apologize for any noises or inconvenience. Don't want to disrespect your show, brother, but I still want to commit because I did say I was going to commit. And thanks once again for having me on the show. Really appreciate it, and always a privilege for me to be on your show because your show is always amazing. And yeah, I trust that we're going to have a good show and a good discussion. I'll keep it as clean as possible and realistic as possible and honest as possible and open as possible. I don't know what else to say, but I'll just keep it possible.
No problem. Let's get into it quickly. Your take on the. We're starting with you, Warren. Your take on the
Oh,
game.
okay.
I mean, just give us a bit of a rundown. What game did you watch? How did you see it? And of course, what is your opinion about it?
So I mean, my general feeling while I was watching the game was, I mean, I know these two teams are a bit behind, like the top three guys, Chelsea, Liverpool, City. I was quite, I was quite shocked by the lack of quality. I think by both teams. The atmosphere at Old Trafford, I think, just echoed all of that. It was a bit iffy. It was a bit tense. Um, it was really, I don't know. It was quite an eye opener to see two former great clubs like that sort of struggling. Um, and I don't know. Yeah, that was the first impression I had. I mean, obviously we'll go into more detail later about what happened in the game. I know the headlines are saying a 3-2 thriller, but it was anything but. It was genuinely at that level. I mean, I've seen what West Ham and Brighton play way better football than that. That was poor football. I mean, I'm not gonna mince my words or give them credit where they shouldn't get it. Um, I mean, it just shows. I think a big gulf. Between the chasing pack and the top three, it's a massive difference. And I think for Arsenal supporters, I think the hype was, before the game. I think Arsenal supporters were thinking quite they can maybe do something here. We've had a very good recent record against United, and probably the thinking was that let's get them while they're a bit rocky and stuff. But I mean, we just went out of our way to hand them goals. I mean, one after the next. It was really, it is a bit shocking, to be honest. I'm still a bit stunned. The fact that we, even at that point, that we couldn't go to a team that's I mean, United was just playing off the cuff. I mean, they don't have any real patterns of play. I mean, that's maybe why they got the new permanent interim coach or whatever, to sort of get them organized. But even that, I mean, we still weren't able to um to really take our game to them. I think we played well in the first couple of minutes. Then we got the goal, in a very weird way. And then immediately after that, we just started defending, and we couldn't get out of our box. We went ultra negative, and then United grew in the game, and then they started getting confidence, and then before you knew it, bang, 1-1, and we just shot ourselves in the foot. And I just thought, well, this is just, I can just see how this whole game is gonna go.
Yeah.
In all three of the goals, we were our own worst enemy. I don't. I mean, I mean, I just think United did actually nothing. We just gave them the goals. I mean, that's the bottom
Yeah.
line. And going forward, um, it just really, what is the most disappointing thing is that we're still going to these places being so negative. I mean, we were so negative, and there's no reason to be negative. It's like you wouldn't do that if you want to be a top team. You'd never do that. If you on the top and you 1-0 ahead, you kind of stay there. You don't give the momentum back to the bloody opposition. You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
do that. So yeah, listen here. Definitely, I'm with a lot of other Arsenal supporters. There's genuine frustration, and now you're asking serious questions about where are we really going now? Because it's just
Yeah.
yeah. I think I'm gonna leave it at that for now.
All right, we just want to apologize for the latecomers. Yorick Meyer, I'm gonna allow him into the studio before we're gonna go to Quinton. Yorick, welcome to Gooner Matterz, and yes, man, I see you on. Are you at drive-in, brother?
The wind is really terrible here by me. Good evening, guys. Good evening to the viewers. I'm just
Evening.
struggling a bit with a signal, and yeah,
Okay,
let's leave
Yuri,
it at
you
that.
are in the company. You're in the company of your futsal friend Quinton, and of course Warren, the official Arsenal supporters club's
Hi, Warren.
Hello,
chairman.
hi
Now,
Yuri. How's
to
it?
give you a bit of a rundown on Yurick. Yurick has been in coaching himself futsal as well, and also in one of our professional football clubs in Cape Town City involved, and he's also a man who tries to make a difference in the futsal or football world in a whole. Welcome to you, brother, and I hope you're gonna have a wonderful time with us tonight.
Thank you very much, Glenn.
All right, Quentin, your thoughts? Must I give you a red card now, or are you gonna behave?
I'll be humble, brother. I'll be humble. Yeah,
Your
look,
thoughts on the game,
if
Fred?
if I must unpack the game, Glenn, for me it was shocking that United won that game. There's so many factors that played a big role in them winning it. I wasn't impressed because I don't think they deserve to win any game. What's even more pathetic is that Arsenal allowed United to win that game with Harry Maguire, with Fred on the park, and McTominay. If anybody feel those three players in United's team and you lose against them, then that means your team is even worse than United. That's just my opinion, because I tell you, United is probably the most, or not the most, but the poorest team at the moment as far as structure, organization, the way they play. There's nothing. It's like Warren said, Arsenal gave the goals to United, and United just obviously with Ronaldo, that's so superior in front, and Bruno. But the rest of United's team is poor from midfield to defense. It's pathetic, man. So for me, it's just thinking that if United wins a game with those guys in the team, then the other team must be very poor. Now, saying that, I think Arsenal is just very inconsistent. I expected Arsenal to really give us a hiding because they were fairly on a good run. But I think there was a lot of players that didn't rock up for Arsenal. Like Smith Rowe was pathetic. I expected so much from that youngster. He was, I think when he plays for England, he's playing much better now. It's like Harry Kane, when he plays for England, he's brilliant, but when he plays for his team, he's rubbish. And so is many of the other English players. And I think Smith Rowe, I don't know if you think he has arrived now, but he was bad. If he was brilliant last night, then I think it would have been a different game, because that boy could have taken Harry Maguire to the cleaners. Because any fast youngster and with quick feet and skill can take Harry and I mean, also a lot of factors. The referee was pathetic. If the ref gives a penalty where Harry Maguire pulls that defender down in the box, it changes the whole game. Now we can make excuses, but I mean, you got VAR. That's a pen any day of the week, even without VAR being there. And that is just how disgusted I am that and as crazy as it sounds, that United won that game last night, because there's a lot of things that just went their way. But I think the next game, there's nothing going to be, because there is nothing in United at the moment. There's nothing. There's no organization. There's no structure. They've got the most expensive, but the weakest defense at the moment in the English Premier League. And all the other clubs know that. And that is why I'm shocked that United won the game, because Arsenal should have really killed us, because any team at the moment can kill United, because no teams at the moment are showing any respect for United, and United don't deserve any respect because they're poor, man. They're pathetic. And now you got the other stooge that took over the coaching, Carrick. He was part of Solskjaer getting fired, and he comes in and he coached, and he think last night was, I've arrived, I've beat Arsenal. It's not that they beat Arsenal, is it? Arsenal was their own worst enemy last night, and that is why United won that game. So, for me, as Warren also said, it was a pathetic game. Arsenal in the first 10-15 minutes had most of the possession. United was doing ball watching, but Arsenal just didn't capitalize on that opportunity, because if you look at the ball position in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the game, Arsenal was all over United. United was watching ball. They couldn't chase down. I don't know what they were doing. And then, obviously, the lucky goals came. And that of Fred was never a penalty. Fred really fed the defender that. He actually literally intentionally put his leg there just so that the defender can trip him. And the ref gives that. But Harry Maguire pulls a player like a rugby tackle. And there's no penalty given for that. So where's the consistency? With the era of VAR being there, and you don't go back and go look at it. So pathetic. And I don't expect United to change anything. I think United's got a lot of mediocre and average players. It's like Warren said earlier, when there was Vieira's and Thierry and those guys, if they played bad, Arsene Wenger would put them on the bench. But those were high-level quality players. United don't have quality players. There's nobody that you can respect at the moment. All due respect to Ronaldo, that is a good finisher, but his work rate is pathetic. So, and that is what you don't need in the English league. You need all 11 players to work hard. So, for me, that is my opinion about last night's game. lucky to get away. Some United fans will be happy about the win, beating Arsenal. But for me, United was just very, very lucky to win that game.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Quinton. Before we
Good points.
allow the enforcer in, we have just this advertising for Coach Q. Futsal Matters with Coach Q. He has his own channel on Facebook where they chat about futsal matters. Yorick is also sometimes on his panel. I'm not sure when he's going to go live again. And then, of course, my next what you call it, panelist is Des, the enforcer, all the way from Newcastle, England. Des, you late, brother. You're an Arsenal fan. You're not never late, bro.
Oh no, sorry, bro. I got my times muddled up. I apologise for that. So good evening,
He's as
gentlemen.
late as his team was last night, man. That is it. He's as late as his team was last night. His whole team was late last night. Hello, Des.
All right. Des, you are in the company, as you could see,
Coach
Quinton,
Q.
you're in the company of Yorick. And then, of course, Warren is the newbie. He is the official
All right.
chairman of the official club, supporters club in Cape Town. Des, welcome. You haven't been on the show for quite a while now. Welcome back, and I hope that you will have something to enforce tonight.
I've got plenty
But
to.
before
I've
you
got
get to
plenty.
you, Des, let's go to Yorick quickly. Yorick, you look like a man that has got so much to say about your team, brother.
No, look, if I'll just take it to the previous game before Arsenal. You look at the game against Chelsea. You could see there was nothing. When the team has possession, they don't know what to do with the possession. They lose possession immediately. There's no organization. There's no structure. The players don't know what to do, and it's down to coaching. It starts from the top, and obviously the quality of the players is a big problem. That's just from my side, and also the balance of the team needs to be right. The quality of the players, you need to have a clear philosophy of how you want to play, and obviously then get the type of players that would fit your philosophy. And obviously
Yeah.
at the moment with Solskjaer, he was lost. Everybody could see it. If you look at the who's who in the coaching world, he's nowhere near with the amount of knowledge that he has, and he's a young coach. He don't deserve to be on the stage with a club like Man United, and obviously we'll see it in the football. Same with Arsenal. I think Arteta is still too young to take a job like Arsenal's job. You need a more experienced coach to take the job, and you can see how they assemble their squads. The coaches have much to learn, both of their coaches, and you see it on the park, on the quality of the football overall. I'm just tired of speaking about United's defense and all of that. But as you can see, if you look at a player like Maguire, for instance, like I said, I think I spoke to you, Glenn, and I said
Yeah.
when he played at Leicester, when he plays for England, they play in a back three. So he's covered whenever they play against quick players, pacey players, and that. When he played for Leicester, they play a bit much deeper, so he can't be exposed. But when he plays for United, you play in a flat four. You play a bit higher up the park. They're gonna expose the player. You're gonna see they're gonna expose the player. But there's too many stuff that's wrong in the structure. I think firstly, they need to have a clear philosophy of how they want to play football, and I think that's not there at the moment. So you can't even think about the players. You can't even think about the type of players that you have because you don't have a philosophy. You don't know how you want to play anymore. And I think it goes for Arsenal as well.
Yeah.
They don't
No,
know.
you're right. You're right there. Right,
you
Des,
can see the difference.
before we go to our
Look
next
at-
segment, did you watch the game, my friend?
I did, mate. I did. And I would like to, first of all, say hello to everyone on the panel. Good evening. Quinton, my brother from another mother. I've got lots to say to you. I'm so glad you're on. But I would also like to respectfully disagree with the gentleman who was just talking about Arsenal, I'm afraid, if you don't mind. Talking about experienced coaches, okay? I know what you mean about Arteta, but the fans are partly to blame why we haven't got an experienced coach. Look at Unai Emery, experienced coach, and the fans ripped into pieces. So that's why we've probably ended up with Arteta. And to be quite honest, I've got to be honest with you. I'm not saying he's totally wrong in everything he's saying, yeah, but Arteta's doing a better job this season. I do want to have a quick something about the game last night. It wasn't a penalty. That on Fred, that was not a penalty. I don't know where VAR saw the penalty. Was not a penalty. It should have ended 2-2. Okay, and yeah, to be honest, Quinton Ronaldo is carrying you at the moment. That's how I feel about it.
Agree 100%.
Now I've got a question to you guys. Anyone can go for it. You can go all together. You can discuss. You can debate. Which one of these two guys won the battle? This is anti-Fred and anti-Party.
Fred, that's not a debate. That's not a debate. That's not even a question. Take the question mark off. Thomas Partey was absolutely pathetic, and people are scapegoating Mohamed Al-Neni because his name is Mohamed Al-Neni. But Thomas Partey was absolutely bollocks. He was a big pile of pony. And Quinton hit the nail on the head at the beginning when he said, if United is shit, then our shit must be the team that lost against him. Because you know what? Kessie was the man of the match, even though he bloody caused the first goal. Fred was United's best player on the pitch last night. He totally ran the bloody midfield yesterday. That's not even a debate. That's not even a question. I mean, that is how our senior players at Arsenal are again. We back to 10 years ago, where the crappiest players at our club are the senior players. Partey, one of them. So we got a manager now hanging his hat on two players. Who are they? I can tell you who they are. There's two children, Saka and Smith Rowe. They are both burnt out. The next thing that's going to happen, I've been saying this for a long time, the next thing that's going to happen is, you know what happens? There's a couple of coaches on here. You guys know what I'm talking about. When you play a youngster too much at that level, what's the next thing that's going to happen? He's going to get a serious injury, isn't it? Tell me I'm wrong. That's the next. And then you know what? The fans and the manager is going to sit and cry about, oh, Saka's going to be out for 5 months now because he got a hamstring, his ACL or whatever. Against Newcastle, the guy got injured, right? On the floor. We really, I think, leading 1-0, 2-0 at that stage. I can't remember. I mean, he still kept playing the guy. Twice after that, he went down another 2 times. He's playing that child to death. We are asking for crap here. Arteta is really killing. You know what happened to Jack Wilshere years ago with Wenger? And Wenger played that guy to death. And look at him now. He's only 28, 29. He still can't even get a football club. Because we killed him. The same thing is happening with Saka and Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe, someone said it earlier. Was it Quinton or the other gentleman? Smith Rowe was nowhere in the game. We're playing these guys to death because he doesn't trust the other senior players like Pepe's. He's not giving Martinelli a chance. He's sticking with the same, the total useless thing called the captain Aubameyang. Useless. Our worst player at the club. He succeeded Mesut Ozil as the most overpaid and useless bloody crap that we got. Lacazette is not good enough. Eddie Nketiah, the child that he is, What is he even doing on the field? And so coming back to the same thing, we are now reliant on 2 players and 2 players alone. So that is not even that's an embarrassment. That's not even a question. Who won the battle?
Yeah.
That's not a question. It's the answer is Fred. Easy.
Warren,
Next
Warren.
question.
Warren.
Just
could
before
answer
you
that.
before you go any further, guys, please, Warren and Des, please, just guys, let us just keep it clean.
Yes, of course.
I know the frustrations is there. Go for it, Des.
We are keeping
Right.
it clean. Don't worry. I'll tell you when it's not clean.
Warren, right? You're totally right in everything you just said about Partey, right? I've never rated Partey. I still don't rate Partey, and I won't rate Partey as long as he's got a hole in his bum, right? He should go. Oba should go, right? Laka should go if he wants to go, okay? Don't get me wrong. Great servants of the club, the 2 strikers, but they've had their day. But you could add to the 2 players, in all fairness, okay, that you've suggested, which is Saka and Smith Rowe, yeah? I think you could also add to that group now most of the back 4. So you're looking at Gabriel.
Yeah.
He's outstanding every week.
So I was just talking about us, our ability going forward in terms of creating and scoring goals. Everyone is scoring goals at the club except the strikers.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone is scoring goals at Arsenal except the strikers.
Yeah. True.
Are you kidding me? Seriously?
True,
and then we keep playing the guy. Our centre backs has got more goals than the strikers, for goodness, man. Hey, the centre backs.
Yeah, I agree. And I tell you now, Tavares, all right, he has his moments, but he's going to be a great player. Tierney has to fight for that position now, right?
Yeah.
Tommy Asu, the Bruce Lee of Arsenal, is amazing. Ben White is good in the middle with Gabriel. Yeah. Our back 4, it might take another season. I don't know.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah.
We could have like the back 4 when Adams was in it, Bold was in it. You know, the old boys.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Correct.
I've got to say, and I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Ramsdale, Super Ram, mate. What a keeper. I mean, I know he didn't have a good game last night, but what a keeper. And
I actually thought he done, considering that we wanted to play out from the back. I actually thought he done okay. I just think the players in front of him couldn't handle the ball. We just kept giving the ball away. I don't think that Ramsdale had anything to do with any of the goals. It is impossible to say that.
And
from the United side, do you think Fred was? I believe Fred was one of the best players on the pitch after he made those couple of mistakes. I mean, I think he was much better than our midfielders. Even though our midfield, I think to the latter part of the game, we started to control the midfield. But I think Fred was all over the pitch. He obviously made mistakes, but he was all over the pitch. And I think he had a very good game last night. I will agree with Warren. He was one of your best players on the field. I mean, Chancho did nothing on the field, really. So what do you say between these battles? I mean, Warren said there's not a question, but in your opinion, as United fans, what would you say?
Apologies, Glenn. I'm driving in the car, so you might not see my face. I hope you guys can hear me.
No, we can hear you.
I think it's twofold for me. I think Fred was our worst player, but he created 3 good chances. The one was the assist that he gave to Bruno Fernandes. The second one was the pen that he created. And what was the third one? I can't even think. But the rest of it, if you go watch that game again, he
stopped a shot from Saka.
Yes, correct. That's the 3 things. But otherwise, he had a nightmare of a game. He lost possession. He gave possession away so many times. So for me, but if he was our best player on the park, then you can just understand how pathetic United is also as well. Because if Fred is your best player on the park, which is normally our worst player every week, how good is United then? And again, I say, then how pathetic are Arsenal?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's actually weird.
Sorry, and as far as Goals is concerned,
for that comment, that's the best comment you made.
Sorry.
And I'll give you the red card.
Okay, I want to say something about Oba and Lacazette. I think they don't have BMT when they play. And sorry, I might quote this wrong now, because United is not quoted as a big team anymore. But whenever they play teams, that is your Cities and your Chelseas and those, they don't have the BMT. Then they're average players, you know. And once they can stamp down the authority against big clubs like that, then they can be called great players. And I think that is what they lack.
Yorick, before we go to our next segment.
Look, Fred, he has a very good work rate, but that's about it for me. Technically, he's nowhere near where he's supposed to be, and the same as you can say with normally with if you look at the player like Pogba, technically he's good enough, no work rate. I think if you can make Fred and Pogba one player, then you'll have a player. Because what you find is the player will do the whole game. The player will do nothing. Get one chance, hit it in the top corner. Everybody will say, "Great game. He had a brilliant game because of the goal." And that you'll find nowadays. And the reason why the quality of the game was so bad because you're looking at two apprentice coaches, and that's it.
All right. Now, my next question to you guys is there a comparison?
You're having a laugh. Ronaldo is. I'm sorry, right? Okay. Ronaldo is. Oh, what's the words I want to use?
Let's keep it clean.
Who's coming up with these questions though? I would like to know that.
He's levels
who's coming up with these questions? Glenn, I think you need a new secretary there.
This is from the internet.
Is this sorry, I'm new to the show. Is this like the funny section of the show, like a joke? Are you joking or what?
I'm enforcing.
I mean, the first one was a bit of a joke, and now you can't. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just asking. I don't know. Maybe I'm the odd one out here. But are you making? Oh, you see it? Was that a serious question? Is that a serious question now, or what? Or are you making fun now?
No. This shows you where the two teams are. As like Quinton said.
But what are you trying to compare, though? I mean, I don't understand. What are you trying to compare? But what are you trying to compare? I mean, between the two, you got the two photos here. What are you trying to compare, though? I'm struggling to understand.
The comparison they asked, obviously, because Aubameyang is our best scorer and
our best scorer. When? What? In history.
For now,
right? Listen. I'm going to enforce this. Listen, right? Listen to me now. I'm going to enforce this. Okay. Aubameyang is not good enough to do up.
Guys, the question
I would be embarrassed to put that photo.
If you're going to give me a chance, that between the two teams currently, the best player that United has is Ronaldo, and in the history since Aubameyang has been with us for the last couple of seasons, he has been the best scorer. Currently, for the last 2 seasons, he's not doing anything. So the comparison is based on the recent seasons. We don't have a goal scorer. You yourself said it last week as well. And again, you alluded to it now, Warren, is that we don't have a goal scorer. In the history of the last few seasons, he has been the goal scorer. Ronaldo is banging in goals for United for the last couple of games. And for the last few seasons, they also had nilly-willy players that scores goals. But we never had a specific player scoring goals. So that is where the comparison comes in. I know there's no comparison. I know that. Just for the fun factor of the patheticness of where we are at this point. That is why.
On a serious note, Glenwyn, on a serious note, right, listen, on a serious note, and I am enforcing this now, right? Listen, this is me, look, arms are crossed, I'm enforcing it, yeah? Now, listen to me, okay? Aubameyang has been a great servant for Arsenal in the past, but he has his credit has run out.
Based on that is why.
Yes, all the good that he's done has been rubbed out by the last 2 seasons. Okay, and I know he was ill last year, and I know his mum was ill and all that, but all his credit has been squashed. And to answer your question, in the comparison, Aubameyang is not good enough to do up Ronaldo's boots, and that's
of course
the truth.
not. He's not, because this guy has scored his 801 goal last night in his career. Aubameyang hasn't even come close. That is where it's so pathetic, and I think. To make a bit of a like you say, is this the fun part of the show, Warren? That is.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm still not getting the analogy. I'm still not getting the whole that was in the past, but now he's here, and I still don't get it. It still doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. Look, I mean, Aubameyang at his peak was the best player and the best striker in the league, right? So you're talking about 2017, 2018, but that's in the past.
That's the last few seasons.
Ronaldo joined United now 4 weeks ago, whatever, a month ago. How long ago? 2 months.
Now my question is.
I mean, so it was like.
Who else can we have on that picture instead of him? Nobody else. With these, what his talent has been showing.
I think
us.
you can
Nobody
put Saka there.
can be put there.
You can put Saka there, Glenn. The youngster. Put the youngster Saka there.
Yeah, I'd rather, exactly like Yorick is saying, you'd rather, I mean, if you ask that question, then, well, put someone that's actually scored a goal. I mean, put Saka or Smith Rowe there. I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, I don't know.
You must understand that it's the patheticness of where Arsenal currently is. I mean, to compare it with a guy like Ronaldo, there's no comparison. That is
of course, yeah.
But no,
Odegaard there.
Let's go to this guy quickly. I don't know if anybody of you obviously has brought in some thoughts about him. Yorick, I'm gonna ask you what is your take on him? He's apparently a brilliant person or coach that way he was, and coming in now.
Look, I did the study on the philosophy, on the Red Bull philosophy, and you will see it's very similar to the heavy metal Red Bull Liverpool style of club. That's how they do it, and it's got to do with a lot of energy, work rate, playing high tempo, pressing high, being very direct. So that's what the United supporters can expect from the philosophy of Rangnick. And
so you think
does he have questions, like with any philosophy, does he have the players to do it? And that's the thing. So
well, if he has that type of CV, surely Warren, he can make a change in players that of the quality that United has.
Clearly, it takes time to clean up the house. They have to get a couple of players.
You see, Glenn, I think whoever comes with a CV as long as Voortrekker Road, that's going to mean nothing, because if you don't have the tools to do the job, all your philosophy is going to run out by the window. And with him coming in and United not having the players to fit his style, he will fail miserably. That I can see already, because it's good to have the Germans coming in, and we've seen what Klopp has brought to the English Premier League, and we've seen what Pep has done coming from the Spanish league. So there's different variations of football happening, and it's great for England football, and that's why I say English Football League is the best league in the world. But I think you must have the tools. United is in a dangerous position. The two best players in United's team at the moment, the goal scorers, is 34 and 36. And then you have Matterz that is 33. And then you got a guy that is earning 80 million rand, who's the most dodgy player on earth, that won't even make the PSL team here if he should come here. So United, as he comes, he can come with all the philosophy, but does he have the players? He doesn't have the players at the moment with United. There's no player that puts a threat in any other team when they walk onto the park that's in United at the moment. Nobody. Yeah. Even if you look at Ronaldo's goals, Ronaldo's not a shadow of himself. He's just putting the goals because he's pinpointing his goals brilliantly, but he doesn't take on sharp and stuff like that. So he's just on the right place at the moment with his goals that he's scoring. But still, he's 30,
the January transfer window is around the corner. So then we'll be able to see what he brings in. I heard this guy is trying to bring in Lemty. Is one of the players is earmarking in the defense. And there's another
Lamptey.
midfielder in the center of the park of Red Bull that is trying to bring in. Alan is also another player that they mentioned. But as you can see, he's looking at pacey players. They already are the type of players that he's looking at. You can see the type of game that he wants to play.
Warren,
I think
from an outsider's perspective, do you think the clubs like Arsenal and other clubs should be worried about his CV, what he's going to bring to the league?
Worried. Well, to be honest with you, I know like 0% about him. I'm hearing just like the other guys are saying, like the other managers are talking about him, and so I actually don't know much about him. But I mean, what I can say is that he's going to be coming into the biggest and the best and most competitive league on the planet. You wouldn't have faced anything like this before. And not just for him, I think any guy coming in, any manager will get a shock to the system, especially if they haven't managed in the Premier League. Because in other leagues, you can get away with stuff. You can have a couple of easy games. But in the Premiership, you could play Watford, you could play Burnley, you could play even Norwich now with the new manager. There, Gerrard is at Villa now. You could play,
Yeah.
and I'm not even talking about the top teams. So without even knowing this guy, I think it's first a thing of see what he's about. From what I understand, he's more a sort of backroom, the technical director type of role. He's not really a manager type thing. And I think that, from what I heard, United want to get him till the end of the season and then get another new permanent. I don't know what's going on there. It sounds like a whole chop and change move. So I wouldn't use the word worried, though. It'll be interesting to see what he does with the players at hand. And then importantly, with the big stars like Pogba and Ronaldo there, what does he do with them? Because it doesn't seem like Ole could actually fit them all into a team. And I think that might be his biggest challenge. But yeah, I must be honest, I actually don't know
Yeah.
anything about his past or who he is and whatever.
There's based on what Warren just said now. I mean, there's a lot of chop and changes, but surely if you look at these four guys that was what's his name, Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, and of course the latest of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now the three of them, the first three, two of them has obviously managed in the league, and with a CV of what you've seen in that case, three of those guys is much more experienced in the Premier League. And Warren makes a good point saying that coming into the Premier League is going to be tough for any manager. I mean, those three guys or four guys has failed at United, really, if you could put it that way, with such experience. What is your take on Ralph coming in after the four guys that has been there before him?
Well, Quinton, you're on mute, by the way, mate. But he's interim manager, isn't he? He's interim, isn't he?
Interim till the end of the season, yeah.
Is it not? I would like to know Quinton's thoughts on this, right? Okay. Is it not down to the Ferguson curse? Because no one lives up to Ferguson. And also, if he's interim, you need to ask Quinton, as a fan of Man United, who does he want for the future manager of Man United? Because interim.
10,000.
Say again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the thing I was saying was, if he's interim, he doesn't. I know it's a very basic way of saying it, but it doesn't really matter, because if he's not staying, you need to ask Quinton, who does he want as manager of Man United?
He's going to stay at United, but not as a manager. He will stay at United as in the consultancy capacity.
All right, okay, I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
that's still not. It's still not a manager, is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he will
So,
be involved in who's coming in, who's going out, and that sort of thing. That's what he
so
will be
he'll be
involved
basically he'll be doing Edu's job, will he? Is that what you're
in,
saying?
purely, yeah. All
So,
right,
Quinton,
Quinton, what do you think about this guy?
how do you feel about that then, Quinton?
Look, Glenn, for me, it's always a case of when new guys come in, there's a lot of changes going to happen. He's obviously got his system. He's a Dutch, not a Dutch, he's a German. So he's going to bring the German philosophy. Is that going to work for the English Premier League? As I said with Klopp, it worked. But Klopp has the players to do that. So if I must be honest with you, if I could have Klopp or Pep at United, that is the two managers I would like to have, because their philosophy is very evident. When players play, you can see the philosophy. They're not scared of big players like your Pogba and those guys that wants to tell the manager what to do. We need a manager that can have the cojones or the balls to say to the players, "You're not bigger than me," and that is what Ferguson used to do. No player
Yeah.
was ever bigger than the manager or the team, and that is what's lacking in United. There's no manager that came to United that could do that. There's no great leader at United at the moment. There's not a captain like Roy Keane that used to tell guys, "Hey, you will hear from me if you don't perform." That is what's lacking at United. So any coach can come. I think this guy, well, as you said, Warren, he's not going to be a coach. He'll become the technical director, because I know he coached in a couple of countries already, in a couple of teams, and he wasn't so successful. So I think he's more behind the scenes technical guy. So unfortunately, Klopp and Pep is the best coaches at the moment. But they are taken. So if there is any others, Pochettino is obviously a talk, but I don't know. Poch coming back to United, maybe he can. It's all about managing big players, and United's got big useless players like Pogba and all these other guys, but nobody can manage them. Solskjaer tried to be the nice guy, and it cost him. Yes, sorry.
Can I just throw one in? Just see your thoughts on it, Quinton. What about Zidane then? Because I've heard a lot of Man United supporters saying they'd take Zidane. How do you feel about that?
About who? Sorry,
Zinedine Zidane.
No, man, he's gonna confuse us. His English is not that great.
Okay, because a lot of Manchester United supporters over here want him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you see, I can't understand why English United supporters want Zidane. Zidane, his coaching experience, he was a brilliant footballer, but his coaching experience is different. He got a team like Madrid, who was a star-studded team. There wasn't much coaching to do, so he won titles. But coming to United, you have to manage those players, and that is what's lacking at the moment at United. Nobody can manage that team with all those egos and supposedly stars in that team, and that is what we lack this. So with Zidane coming, I don't think he's gonna. That's my opinion, purely my opinion. I don't think he's gonna help United move forward.
That's fair enough.
All right, let's go to the comment
to
for the first time in the show. Lenny is he's not a stranger to the show. Good evening, gents. Warren, nice seeing you, sir. Been a while.
Hey, Leonard. Cheers.
Mr. Enforcer, trust you fully recovered. Why are the United fans sitting in the getaway car a bit suspicious? Great seeing you.
How's it, Leonard? Long time, brother.
Lenny, I'm hiding myself to save the embarrassment of Arsenal losing to United.
Lenny, my brother from another mother, my second brother from another mother. I hope you're well, my friends. Thank you very much.
I just want to apologize for Yorick. I think Yorick has got a bit of a connection problem there. Right, Warren, this is to you. What do you think we can manage in points over the next fixtures?
Okay, we got a Monday night game against a very underperforming, uninspiring Everton. I mean, my goodness, they were poor against Liverpool. I don't know if it was Liverpool that was just so good, but Everton was poor. So, I mean, if you're looking at that, and if we want a reaction, right, to get back onto the winning ways, we got to go there and get a win. I think it draws and just make people more frustrated. Then we got the home game against Southampton. That's not going to be a straightforward game. I think Ralph Hasenhüttl is underrated. You're talking about managers. I expect that guy to manage a top 5-4 club in the next couple of years. I'm just putting it out there. Arsenal against West Ham. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. That could
That's going
be.
to be tough.
That can show us. Yeah, that is going to be tooth and nail. Okay, Sunderland in the
That,
Carabao
that
Cup.
is what I'm going to call that game, the test.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, okay.
That
Okay. Sorry.
that game against West Ham is going to
Yeah.
be the test.
And then, of course, like Norwich. Okay, Leeds is away. Leeds away is not going to be easy. We should beat Norwich at home, and we should against Wolves. Yeah, okay, we can get a result there, but this is going to be difficult. I think we need to win our home games. But you know what? And you know where I'm going with this. Our
Yeah.
problem is like you saw last night. We just don't have a strike force. We don't have strikers that can put the ball in the back of the net. And as long as you do that, think about all the wins we've had. 1-0
Yeah.
against Burnley, 1-0 against Watford, 1-0 against Norwich. Brighton, 0-0. We were lucky to get a draw there. If you don't score goals, it doesn't matter how poor the other team is, you give them a chance to stay in the game. And all the teams that you had up there now, those managers will tell the Oaks, listen, even if we're being outplayed, we will always be in with a chance because you know what? It'll only be 1-0 and you will still be in the game. And that's the thing that keeps worrying me. I promise you, if Martinelli slots that second goal in last night to make it 2-0, we win that game last night. I'm telling you right now.
Correct.
Because
Play
we don't
Martinelli.
have that
Play
strike
Martinelli.
force. Well, exactly. There you go. The minute you don't have people and it's only 0-0 or 1-0, even if you are playing well,
Yeah.
you're just giving the opposition a chance to come back at you, and any team in this league is capable of taking points off you. That's why every single game is going to be like, I don't think I'll have nails left for Christmas because honestly.
Warren, I just want you to repeat the comment that you've made about what the manager said because that is the most important thing that you've said, and that is the comment of the night. I'm going to give you a red card for that. That's a brilliant comment. The red card is meaning that
Okay.
it's against Arsenal, right? So just repeat that comment that you said that the manager will tell his players to do what?
Sorry, what I'm
The
lost here now. What do
comment
you
you
mean?
made a comment. I can't put it in your words. You said that if we contain Arsenal, we're still in the chance. In a nutshell,
Oh
that's
yeah,
what you meant.
yeah. No, I'm just, I just. So what I was saying there is that any other manager would be telling their players, look, even if you're going up against the inform Arsenal team, right? We will still be in the game, just like all the 1-0 results we've had against this so-called much lesser teams. You will always be in
Yeah,
with the game. We're scraping through this 1-0 victories. We're not playing teams. If you take away the Spurs and Villa game, their first half an hour, this whole season's been average. We just don't have
yeah,
a strike force, and the minute you do that, you actually just give hope to any other manager out there. They're going to be saying, listen, you guys, I know Arsenal's got good players there, and the wingers and the youngsters and the defense and whatever, but we got a chance of even getting a point away. I'm sure even Norwich's manager, Dean Smith, must be thinking, you know what, guys, we could sneak a 1-1 here. That's
yeah.
literally what could happen.
No one
Correct.
fears us No one fears us anymore. No one fears Arsenal anymore, and it's
Yeah,
getting that way
exactly.
for It's getting that way for Man United as well. Unless they turn things around, people are going to stop
Yeah.
fearing Man United.
100%.
You know. But I just wanted to say, Warren, yeah, we do
Yeah.
need a striker. I totally agree. We do, but not only do we need a striker, we need a striker that isn't scared to use his head.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go. I've got one name that I've been, and I could be wrong, and I don't know what I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. And I actually got a little bit excited because I saw in one of the news articles that we could be going for this guy, but I just thought someone that realistically that we could get as a striker. Obviously, we're not at the point of signing Mbappe and Holland. We're not there yet, right? So forget about that. But I thought maybe, like you mentioned now, I'm happy you said that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin at Everton. Everton is going nowhere.
exactly.
Right?
That's
A
what
big
I was
number,
going to say.
big number 9. You can hold the ball up.
Yeah.
He's hitting better. Premiership experience. And guess what? Cherry on the top. He's an Arsenal supporter. The cherry on the
Correct.
top.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm nodding my head so much it's going to fall off. I totally agree, right?
I mean, that
You know
guy,
what?
that guy actually, I actually read it today. We're talking about like 60 million here. And now look, don't take my word for it. I'm just saying, I just got goosebumps when I read. I thought this guy would fit our team like a glove.
To be honest
I'd
with
be
you,
banging on
I had a
Everton.
show.
I'd be
I
kicking
had a
Everton's
show
door in.
with. Sorry, Dave.
I'd be kicking Everton's door in for him.
Exactly.
Yes, Warren, to be honest with you, I had a show on regarding Calvert-Lewin and the comparison with him and Ollie Watkins.
Okay.
And it's been coming on for a while now that they are linked with Calvert-Lewin, and I think as well he would be a brilliant addition to our team.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Totally agree.
Mate, I'd pay
Lenny-
100 million. I'd pay 100 million for him. Honestly, I would.
Yeah, but it's not that worth it. It's not that much worth it.
Yeah, that
Lenny
doesn't
is
matter.
saying Everton stars are still injured, so they there for the taking. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I think he's been out for the season so far from the beginning of the season. I think he only played 1 or 2.
He hasn't played a game yet.
Yeah, no, but look, in the January transfer window, we could test Everton's waters because they're not doing well. I mean, they could be in a relegation battle. I'm not even joking here. Everton could be in a relegation battle, and if he sees Arsenal coming in with big money, and I think Everton also, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but there could be some financial fair play things kicking in there where they've spent like 500 odd million pounds, and now they. Exactly, and now they're a bit restricted with the financial fair play, so they might need to actually recoup some of the money, and that is where we need to strike while the iron is on.
Exactly.
I'm just happy.
The thing is with Calvert-Lewin as well, though, Warren. Yeah, and guys. Oh, good evening, by the way, Gary. Yeah, the thing is with Calvert-Lewin.
Gary is saying good evening. Gary is all the way from New Jersey. Gary, welcome and thank you for watching, and I hope to have you on your show. On my show, maybe next week or the week after. Hit me up if you are available. But Gary, welcome.
The thing with Calvert-Lewin, guys,
Just one more thing.
Sorry.
Lenny is also saying Calvert-Lewin, good striker. Sterling rumor died down yet? No, Sterling is still on the cards. He said yesterday, Lenny, just to on your comment, he said yesterday to his interview that his agent has spoken to City and he wants to leave the club and he wants to come to London and he won't mind having a go at Arsenal as well.
Right.
Sorry,
regarding Calvert-Lewin, and I want to have a quick chat about Sterling as well, my thoughts on Sterling. But Calvert-Lewin, we would put great balls through to Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he would be on the end of them. Yeah. And going on about Sterling, I don't want him at Arsenal.
I agree. I don't want Sterling at Arsenal.
Quinton, you're quite quiet there. What is your take on Sterling, brother?
Sterling coming to Arsenal?
Nah.
No, I don't think so, man. I don't think Sterling will come
you,
to Arsenal.
Quinton.
Not at the moment. And I think you must be careful for Everton. Everton has a problem. They've got a good manager. The challenge is that they don't have all their players to their disposal. And I watched their bench. They've got good youngsters sitting there, and I don't know why Brandon is not using them. So you just have to be careful because I saw something when they played Liverpool. Look, Liverpool was just far more superior than them. They tried to press Liverpool, and Liverpool struggled at the beginning. But the one thing is that when you allow Liverpool in front of your goals to get opportunities, they're going to put them away, and that's what makes Liverpool a cut above the rest at the moment. And that's where Everton suffered because they couldn't manage Salah and they couldn't manage Mane and the front line. So that was the struggle there. Yes.
Sorry. Can I ask a question, Glenwyn? Right?
Yes.
You say that West Ham is the test, but in fairness, right? Hold on 1 second. In fairness, wasn't Liverpool the test?
Look, every game for that matter, is actually a test because I mean we had 10 games unbeaten, and then we went to Liverpool, we lost, and we went to we invited Newcastle to come and play. That was also the test after the Liverpool loss, and now we went to United and lose. So tomorrow, Monday night's game is also going to be a test. But what I'm saying is, in the London capacity, West Ham will be the test for London.
But I thought Liverpool was the test, because if we'd have beaten Liverpool, we would have known supposedly we would have known where we were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So
that puts a doubt in my mind, because even if we lost against Liverpool, of course it's Liverpool. We won against Newcastle and we lost against United last night. Every other game is going to be a test, because we are a mid-table team at this stage. So every game, just for the sake of London, I think Chelsea and West Ham is the best teams in London at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be a major test. I mean, the West Ham team is a very well organized, and listen, they don't have children playing in the team like we've got. They've got like men. They've got leaders. They will not be Mickey Mouse. And where we are, I think we need to lower our standards, not lower our standards, but our expectations, because we're not in the top four. Forget about this top four Disneyland nonsense. We're not there. We're just not good enough. We need to try and squeeze that Europa League spots, and that is where the Spurs are going to come up now. The Uniteds, like you said, West Ham. That West Ham, you're right. That's going to be a major game. That is a massive game.
But I think at the moment that the 3 spots is already taken. So there's a dogfight happening.
Yeah.
So it's a dogfight for 4.
Yeah.
Because it's already Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and I don't think any of our teams are strong enough to stop any of those teams.
Yeah. Now you're right, Quinton. It's almost like 4, 5, and 6 is up for grabs.
But also, if we were to get top 4, and I know I agree with you guys, it's not possible. We would have to have so many other teams' results go our way for us to do that.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen every week. You see, it's not going to. When it does go our way, then we pull an Arsenal. Then we just do worse than what they do. We pull an Arsenal. Whenever they draw, we lose. I mean, that's how it works. I mean, if they lose 3-0, then we'll just lose 4-0.
Well, I have got in touch with Arteta. I got in touch with Arteta this week. I've got cerebral palsy, guys. I don't know if I've told you, or I don't know if you know, but it affects my walking. Okay, but I got in touch with Arteta this week, and I said, "Look, I've got a better chance of scoring than Orba has, so I might be on the bench." Just so you know. Right?
I will enforce that. Guys, I just want to say, I think that I think one of the English Premier League teams, or not. Let me just rectify myself here. City, Liverpool, one of those two will definitely win the Champions League again.
I agree.
No, definitely. Guys, we're getting to a point where we have to land. Just the last couple of comments in the chat. Lenny saying, "Hi, Gary, see you watching the guys." Thank you, Lenny. And Gary is saying,
"Hi, Gary.
Calvert-Lewin had 3 games, he had 3 goals. Sterling had 12 games, he had 2 goals. And obviously 1 assist, but he didn't play that much of a game. It's only now that he's playing, because he's not wanted in the club in my opinion, he's not wanted in the club anymore." And then Gary goes on to say, "Easy decision." Obviously, he's referring to Calvert-Lewin as well.
He runs funny as well. He runs funny.
Sorry?
Sterling runs funny, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, look, I mean...
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't hear that. Sorry, just repeat that.
I said Sterling runs funny. I'm amazed he's as quick as he is the way he runs.
He runs.
But also,
and then Gary is saying Liverpool was a test based on our performance, not result. I will agree with you there, yes. And United was a test based on a result, and our performance was better than against Liverpool. Everything is a test based on how much do we win by.
Yeah. I agree by that comment.
That's an interesting comment, Warren. What is he saying there?
Yeah, good point. Good comment.
How much we're gonna win by? Do you think we're gonna win?
Well, look, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, Everton it's quite shocking how far they've fallen behind, and I just don't get the whole Rafa Benitez back in Liverpool, and he's managing Everton now. I don't understand that, and I don't think he's going to last that long, to be honest. So Everton again are there for the taking. But hello, we said the same thing about United. They were there for the taking. And our manager, I'm sorry, and I don't know, we saying on Arteta, but he was as negative as it comes. The team is there as a wounded animal. We 1-0 up. We're playing the better football. And then we just went into negative mode. And I'm just worried about the same thing again with Everton. I mean, look, they don't have the individuals that United have. But if we give them enough opportunities, if we don't score, if we playing well and we don't score, right? Say it's 0-0 at 70 minutes. It's only going to take one moment for them to score a goal, and then it's 1-0 Everton. So I do understand Everton we should win, you're right? We should win that game. But I'm just saying the minute you have strikers not scoring goals, you're just giving, and Rafa is a master at squeezing a result out. He will find a way to get a 0-0 draw. Make it as boring as humanly possible. He'll make it 0-0. We'll be sleeping by now. About 10 o'clock, we'll all be fast asleep because it'll be that boring. But he's just that type of manager. But you're right, we should win the game. But yeah, I take nothing for granted these days.
All right.
Yeah, it comes
All right,
down-
guys, I'm going to put you guys on the spot quickly, and this is going to be our closing comments, is that, Quinton, your prediction for your next game against Crystal Palace on Sunday, what is your prediction?
I'll go for a draw there. Or we might lose that game.
You're playing at home.
Well, yeah, no, I think we'll draw that game or lose it.
Okay, there's
There you
your
go,
score for Everton.
Right, it's going to come down to two things, okay? It's going to come down to whether he plays Orba or how ERS and Saka are playing. But I'm going to go for 2-0 Arsenal.
All right. And Warren, I'm going to ask you for a score.
Yeah, I can see. So I'm gonna back my team against Everton, but I'm gonna go for good old school 1-0 to the Arsenal, and it'll be one of our centre backs scoring the goal, like from a free kick or corner or something.
Or Odegaard might score. Odegaard might score it, because he's finally found the goal. So you never know.
Gary is saying, "Oh no, Everton will let Orba shot and double everyone else." And he's prediction. Oh, Gary, that is expensive.
Look, that could be right if Arteta grows a pair and he plays the right team. That score could be right, but that's only if he plays the right players.
Right, I'm looking. Hold on. I'm looking right down the camera, right? I'm looking right down the camera. Just one thing, Brendan. Just 1 second. Arteta, if you're watching, play Martinelli.
Yeah, there we go.
Martinelli. I'm enforcing it.
This is the one. Lenny's saying 2-0 to the Gunners. Ramsdale was hoping mad, so nothing will pass him on Monday. All right, I'm gonna be also sitting on the fence with a 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It's not going to be a high-scoring game. So it will be very, very, very low. Anyway, guys, we come to an end. Subscribe to Gooner Matterz again, and also, of course, get a hold of me on goonermatterz@gmail.com. Warren, thank you, man, for being a part of the show. It was nice having you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hope to have you back with us.
Awesome. Anytime.
Nice. Quinton, stay safe in Durban, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow with your meetings and stuff. And say hi to Sam, Michael, and what's your daughter's name again? Bethany.
Yeah, will do. Don't worry.
Thanks, Glenn, man. Thanks for having me on. Apologies about my bad.
Nice meeting you, Quinton, and Des.
Nice meeting you, Warren.
Nice meeting you.
Quinton.
Awesome.
Bye, Des.
Nice to meet you, Warren. Quinton, your opinions suck, but I love you.
Okay, Des.
Cheers, everyone. Good
Thank
night.
you guys for watching, and let's do this again sometime. Cheers, guys.
Totally.
Cheers, everyone.